I'm Noor. I lived in Hamamlif. I pleased to show you my work with my friends. Uh, our project topic, it talk through our project, we see that it's talk about the Tunisian regions and their traditional dress. Our country contains many cultures that made it a country full of diversity and distinction. I will give the floor to Dora.
Hello, my name is Dora Sharik. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Tunisia. Exactly, I live in Hamamlif. I am a musician. I play oud. And I am so proud to participate with you in e-tuning. And now I will introduce to you my country, Tunisia. Tunisia is a beautiful country located in North Africa, and it has many reasons that make tourists choose it as an ideal destination to spend their vacation, because there are many famous historical places. The Great Mosque of Rouen. The Mosque of Aqba ibn Nafi is a historic mosque in the ancient town of Rouen, Tunisia. It's one of the most impressive and largest Islamic monuments in North Africa. Al-Zaytuna Mosque is a major mosque at the center of Medina of Tunisia, and this important mosque was founded in 734. The Amphitheater of Al-Jam, one of the best preserved and largest in the entire Roman Empire. The Amphitheater of Al-Jam is a major symbol of the height of Roman Africa, which added its own particular touch to Roman culture. Bardo National Museum. It's one of the most important museums in the Mediterranean region and the second museum of the African continent after the Egyptian Museum of Cairo, by richness of its collection. It traces the history of Tunisia over several millennia and across several civilizations, throughout a wide variety of archaeological pieces. This country has a rich story and a varied culture of Turkish, Italian, and French origins. Tunisia is small but has given birth to several famous people, such as the poet Abu al-Qasim al-Shafi. Ibn Khaldun, 1332-1406, is regarded as the father of demography for his economic analysis to social organization, which produced the first scientific and theoretical work on population, development, and group dynamics. Or the singers like Ali Rieh, Yejishvini, or presidents like Habib Bourguiba, who has a real leader, the country, and many rights for women and citizens in regional. Tunisians should be really proud of their rock stock. The president Habib Bourguiba. Habib Bourguiba, in full Habib Ben Ali Bourguiba, born August 3, 1903, Monastir, Tunisia. Died April 6, 2000, Monastir. Architect of Tunisia's independence and first president of Tunisia, 1957-1987. One of the major voices of Mediterranean and gradualism in the Arab world. And now I will give the floor to my friend Islam.
Today I want to show you our traditional dress in Mahdia. Mahdia is a very small city which is gorgeous with charm and history. In Mahdia, the history of traditional textiles and clothes has begun since the 18th century. The weaving of silk was reportedly introduced by families of Jewish craftsmen from Libya who lived in Mahdia. And since that time, the families in Mahdia have taken up this profession, and women in Mahdia has always used silk and cotton fabrics on which she embroiders patterns representing Jurba. Futas are transformed into tunics, kaftans, covers, dresses, and bathrobes. You can buy it off the rack ready-made, or if you have few days in Jerba, get your tailor-made. The costumes with Jerba are slightly different of an area of the island with another, and especially the costumes of the women, servant, the clothes of the Gerbanian are colors sharp. Kairawan. It is the official and traditional dress of Kairawan brides, and we also wear it in all cities of Tunisia. The Tunisian Tarayun is distinguished by a special cloth, and the most famous of its colors is the luxurious black and the dark red. The Kairawanists say that there are three types of soft Tarayun, and this is what we notice in the pictures. Clothes of the men. Blusa of color gray. Behavior generally in flags. The Gerbian puts during the summer traditional costume less and less carried by the population of the island. Barnous. A barnous may cover the jibba. It is well-known garment and has been sported by the Tunisian president in his public life. Elderly men are often caught wearing this garb as well. This is most common in the winter seasons. The barnous is long-hooded woolen coat much like a poncho, but it has no sleeves. It is the crowning piece of the jibba to give the wearer special prestige. Blusa and futa. The blusa and futa are two pieces of the same outfit. The futa is a dress made of cotton and silk. Women wear this from their waist to their ankles. The blusa is the vesture of the outfit. If you go to a wedding, you will see the bride in a kiswa tunsiyya that is lined with crystal beads and rhinestones. This two-piece outfit is made up of trousers and a bustier. This outfit was inspired by traditional wedding dresses of the past. A sifseri. The sifseri is a large scarf that is made from yellow or white silk. It covers the entire body of the Tunisian woman. The sifseri is still worn in some out-of-town areas by the older women, but most young women do not wear it. If you go to the Tunis Medina and the souks, you will see some of the women wearing the sifseri. Most of the women do not cover their faces anymore. They just work that part around their head so they are more comfortable.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any remarks to your friends? Or do you wait until the other group finishes and we give all our remarks at the end? So I think it is better to wait for the other group to perform and then we give all the remarks. So take notes of what you have to say if you have some feedback to give to this group, to Dora's group. And now we give the floor to the remaining groups. You are. Are you here, Siwar?
Yes.
Okay, so the floor is yours to your group and you. You can present. Start presenting and then at the end of your presentation, your friends can give you feedback and you can give the other group feedback also. Okay.
Hello everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Siwa. I'm 17 years old. I study at Bashir Nabeni High School. My favorite hobbies is cooking sometimes and listening to music. And now I will give the floor to Aya.
Hello everyone, my name is Aya. I am 17 years old. I live in Hamamlem and I study at Bashir Nabeni. In my free time, I like drawing and listening to music. I give to the floor to Sirin.
Hello everyone, my name is Sireen. I study in Bashir Nabhani and my favorite subject is English and I play music in my free time. That's it.
Now we will present our project about Tunisia. Tunisia is a country in North Africa located on the Mediterranean coast and bordering the Sahara Desert. Flag of Tunisia, adopted in 1831, red background with a white circle containing a red five-pointed star surrounded by a red crescent. The color red presents the blood of martyrs killed during the Turkish conquest of Tunisia. The white symbolizes peace, while the crescent and five-pointed star represent unity of all Muslims and the five pillars of Islam. Tunisia is divided into 24 units called governorates. Wilayat. The governorates are named after the capital city, Ayana, Beja, Belarus, Duzar, Geddes, Gafsa, Janduba, Qayrawan, Gassin, Delhi, Kef, Mahdiya, Manuba, Medin, Monastir, Nablus, Sfax, Sidi Bouzid, Tiana, Sousse, Tatawin, Touta, Tunis, and Zaghouan. Now I will give the floor to Sirine.
Culture. Underrated places in Tunisia. Benimtir, a village like no one other. A relaxing stop over in the middle of the forest of Indraham, in the northwest. In Benimtir, you will be greeted by the smellies, green meadows, and dark oaks forest. We are in a small Tunisian village with a senior history. Here, no vaults, no patios, no roof, terraces, but a few beautiful houses clinging to the mountain side a mosque. The water of Benimtir, a real landscape of tropical forest to be visited in winter or in spring because it's dried up in summer. Matmata, unique desert village. Movie fans would instantly recognize the intriguing troglodytic houses of Matmata when director George Lucas visited here. He was so taken with the area he used it as a set in his famous Star Wars films. Chat Tajrid, the largest salt lake in Tunisia, which changes all kinds of unusual colors. Chat Tajrid is a saltwater lake, and throughout the year, geological changes change the water's color. The water turns all kinds of crazy hues, purple, pink, and red. Visitors enjoy walking along the water's edge and seeing its natural sights. The besides a popular activity for Chat visitors is to fly over the lake in a paraglider to get a bird's eye view of its amazing beauty. 4. Toozer is the perfect desert oasis in all who visit Toozer is worlds apart from coastal Tunisian resort, with the Medina Old Town full of unique brick pattern. architecture, and rambling plain cover that slices the sea of green through desert sand. If you want to enjoy an unique experience in the middle of an oasis in Tuzar, perched meters above the ground among the plane trees, you can in the most amazing hotel in Tuzar, Diyar Abu Habibi. This is some picture of it. All the information are taken from tunisiatourism.com. Traditional food Tunisia is characterized by a variety of traditional dishes. Couscous is the traditional dish par excellence, especially for ceremonious consists of semolina, vegetable, and meat. And now I'll give the word to my friend Aya.
Aya, are you here? Mm,
Yes. Yes.
someone is calling you. They say Aya. Is it your turn to present?
Anine, madam.
Is it your
Yes,
turn?
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Traditional food. Tunisia is characterized by a variety of traditional dishes. Couscous is the traditional dish par excellence, especially for ceremonies, consists of semolina, vegetable, and meat. Lablebi. Another popular type of Tunisian food is lablebi, made with chicken, olive oil, harissa, and toast.
Chickpea.
In addition,
It's not chicken, chickpea, you mean?
chickpea, olive oil, harissa, and toast. In addition to the brick and fricassee. Makrouz. It is one of the most famous traditional Tunisian sweets. It consists of semolina, douk, and date. There are many other delicious Tunisian sweets, such as baklava and yuyu. Thank you for listening. That's all.
Thank you for your presentations. Okay. Any feedback before I give mine? Is there another group today?
No.
I saw that.
Yes.
Yes, who will be here? Mulka and?
Malka, Emna, and Nohe.
Okay. Are you ready to present?
Normalement.
Okay, normally.
Yes, Nohe is here.
Okay.
Sorry. خرجتني. There's some problems with the mic.
It's perfect. We can hear you and everything is fine.
Okay.
You are here.
So we can start?
Yes. Who is going to share? So let the screen be shared just by one person, okay? So that we don't
Okay,
miss,
I will be sharing the screen, but I have no clue how.
Okay, then you look for something that is called partage d'écran. Do you see some?
It's in English, madam.
In English, screen sharing. Are you using a computer or your mobile phone?
Computer.
Okay, then in the computer you might see something in the bottom of the screen, at the bottom of the screen with a lot of icons. There is a circle that contains a rectangle and an arrow, up arrow. So that
Okay.
must be the one that you should click on.
Okay. I think I got it.
Yeah. Okay, but before...
Is it working?
Yes, working, but before you have to select which screen you want to share, and then click on the blue button. There is... I think it's okay. It's okay. It is shared. It's okay. Just go to your presentation.
Okay. Does anyone can see?
Perfect.
Okay. Hi, my name is Nuhe. I study in Nabhani, Bishin Nabhani. I'm in grade 11th grade, and I live in Hammam. I love playing music and listening to music, and I love painting. Now moving on to Mulka, who is going to present herself.
Hi everyone, it's Malka here. I have I'm 17 years old. I live in Hammam Reef, Tunisia, and I study in Bishina Bini.
Mm-hmm. Emna, is it your turn?
Yes. Hello everyone. My name is Emma. I am 17 years old. I live in Hammam, and I love to draw in my free time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I give the word to Mika.
So today we are going to present our project, and it's about our city Hammam Reef. Our project is about Hammam Reef and its history and beautiful places, with its notable people and historic places, and it takes us back to the 60s and 50s and how it used to be. Here's some details of Hammam Reef. Here we are. Here is a close look for the beach Hammam Reef in 1950s. A view of Jbal Bugarni, the biblical Palestine
Palace.
palace, the biblical palace in 1950.
Now I'm going to present our city's history, definition, and sport. I'd like to move on to history, where I would read the definition and sport. Naro was Hammamnim's Punic name. In 1883, the French captain Ernest de Pudron discovered in his Hammamnim's residence the first archaeological ruins of an ancient synagogue that once stood in Hammamnims in 3rd and 5th century. Here we have the definition. Hammamnim is a coastal town about 20 kilometers southeast of Tunis, the capital of Tunisia. It has been known since the antiquity for its thermal springs originating in Mount Bugarni. Sport. The local football team Club Sportif of Hammamnim won the Tunisian championship in 1952, 1954, 1955, and 1956, and won the Tunisian Cup in 1946, 1947, 1948, 1949, 1950, 1985, and 2001. Moving on to the next page, here we have Hammamnim in 1960. Here we say we have the Baykal Palace, and yeah. Now, turning to Amna, who is going to present the casino.
One of the most iconic building in the city of Hamamlif, the casino, was inaugurated in the early
90s.
19th. It was a hotel, then a casino, then a restaurant, um, alternating between several changes of owners and opening closing phases until the definitive one in 20, 20, 2010. Since then, it is closed and uh,
Auction.
Occasionally. Occasionally.
open for
Exhibitions.
exhibitions at artistic events.
Emma?
The biblical place of Hamamlif is a former winter residence of the base and of the house
Hussein
Hassanite dynasty
Dynasty.
located in the Tunisian city of Hamamlif.
Now turning to Mulka, who is going to present the Beylikdüzü Palace, which it includes a definition and currently where it is and a picture. You go ahead, Mulka.
The Beylikdüzü Palace was built in the in the 1750s. It used to be one of the favorite winter residences of the royal family because of hot water spring on the nearby mountain of Jebel Bukarni. The palace is currently owned by the state under the supervision of the Hamamlif municipality. But some other Beylikdüzü palaces belong to private owners. The Dar Bey Palace in Hamamlif.
Here we have a picture of Dar el-Bey Palace in Hamamlif and how it is now, according to how it was. Shay, madam?
It is sad how it turned to be because this is supposed to be something of a cultural heritage, history.
Yes.
And look how it is.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Now I'm going to present the Mountain Bugarnin, as we call it here, the Jebel Bugarnin. I'd like to move on to the definition here. We have Jebel Bugarnin, or Mount Bugarnin, is a 576 meter mountain in northern Tunisia overlooking the Gulf of Tunis and Hamamlem city. Here we have pictures of Mount Bugarnin and how big it is. And here in the second photo, we have the national park, which we are gonna go to in the next page. Anyways, during the times of ancient Carthage, the mountain was considered sacred and religious rituals were conducted there. The massif is part of Bugarnin's National Park, covering area of 1939 and protecting many species of plants and animals. The mountain slopes are covered with Aleppo pine and cedar. Moving on to the next page, here we have pictures of photos of Bugarnin National Park, and the view here, as you can see, it's really green and it's really healthy. And now moving on to the next page, where Emna is going to present the cyclamen, where it grows in the Mount Bugarnin.
Cyclamen persicum is a
perennial
Okay, skip it,
Herbaceous
skip
plant
it.
that reaches ahead.
That reaches?
We skip it.
No, don't skip the page. Just skip the
Okay.
name.
Okay.
It is from South Central Turkey to Lebanon, Syria, and the Palestine region. It also grows in Tunisia, es- essen-
Essentially.
essentially in the National Park of Bugani.
Here we have pictures of the cyclamen, and there is specifically two colors, I think, purple and pink, and it only grows in Mount Bugarni. Now moving on to Palestiska, where I'm going to present a little definition, and then we're gonna leave the floor to Mulka and Emna. The Balastiska takes the name of its builder, Santo Giovanni Disca, born in February 19th, 1888 in Buceri province of Syracuse in Sicily. It was designed by Disca Santo Giovanni. The works were carried out under his supervision, and the building was completed in the early 1930s. Now I'm moving on, turning to Mulka, who is going to present the definition here.
The Hammam are well accounted with the Balasdiska, the old building which is opposite the post office and 2 minutes from the train station. It was a great achievement as it was the first time that a building exceeded two floors, and the cupola was unique.
As you can see here, we have two photos, including the Balastiska. It was in 1930s. This picture was in 1930, and this picture was in 1950. Moving on, here we have notable people who lived in Hammamnuf. Turning to Emna, who is going to read the definition of Salma Bakar and who she is.
Salma Bakar was born in December 15, 1945. She is Tunisian filmmaker, producer, and politician. She is considered the first woman to make a feature-length film in Tunis. Salma Bakar is known for creating manifestos through her films, centered around women's rights in Tunisia. And now we move to Mulka, who's going to present Wajiha Jandoubi.
Wajiha Jandoubi was born in 1972. Jandoubi wrote a play alongside another student and played the role of a future bride, which she described as unforgettable. She was quickly noticed by Tunisian directors and appeared in several television soap operas such as Mnimet Arusaya.
Moving on to the next page, here we have Sadok Boussoufara, who Emna is going to read.
So Sadok Boussoufara was born on December 5, 1906 and died on November 4, 1998 in Hammamdif. He was a Tunisian doctor and nationalist activist.
Now, let me move on to Tawhida Bashir. Tawhida Bashir was born in January 2nd, 1909, and died in December 6,
2010. She was the first modern Tunisian woman to become a physician. She was also a pioneer in women's medicine in peculiar contraception and abortion's access. As you can see here, we have her picture and the picture of 10 dinars, where we have her face here on the 10 dinars bill. Here we have a quote that we wrote. We got it from Herbert Pronchno, and it said, "A city is a large community where people are lonesome together." Thank you so much for listening. Here, this is my team, and thank you.
Okay. Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you guys for
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Okay. So good.
Do I stop streaming with them?
Sorry?
Do I stop streaming?
Yes, you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
And now it's time for the feedback. So let's start with, would you like to start from the last one or from the first one? From the first presentation, or let's start with the last presentation to give feedback? The first? We start with the first group?
Yes.
Okay, so just a second. Sorry, so I'm back again. So we start with the first group then. Any feedback? So who was the first group? Who was the first group? It's Noor, I think. And who else?
It was Siwar and Aya and Sirin.
They were the first one to present? No.
Madam, أنا ودرة.
Durra and Noor. Okay. So get ready for the feedback, girls. Then I guess you were not there, Nuhe, when they started. And
Yes, I thought Siwar was the first.
okay.
Sorry.
Then
really
any
sorry.
feedback for Noor and Durra? What are your remarks? What do you think of their presentation?
Miss,
Shahd.
I'll have some feedbacks. So I think all of the groups were reading, not presenting.
Okay. Shall we just with the positive feedback? Any positive feedback?
All the work was great.
Okay.
Good job, everyone. But there's some point that they were reading, not presenting. Like the pictures, then not. They didn't present the pictures either. They were just reading.
Okay. Do you agree with Shahd? So she was saying that you were reading and not doing as if you were presenting. We felt just like you were reading. Do you all agree with Shahd? Just making sure you were following the presentations. Yes, and unfortunately, as Shahd said, all the groups were reading. Even if sometimes Nuhe tried to show us that she was not reading, but in fact it was a reading. And I will let you know why or how to overcome this for your next presentations. It's obvious when you write paragraphs that you are going to read them. But when you make your paragraphs shorter, summarize the ideas and make or write bullets, bullets like رؤوس أقلام, as we say in Arabic, okay? Bullets. Just the main ideas or a summary of the ideas in that paragraph. Just ideas. So there are, for example, if you go back to one of the paragraphs, could you please, Nuha, share again your presentation? So I will show you an example of one paragraph and how many ideas are there. and how many
Okay.
bullets you can have. So instead of reading, you keep that paragraph you read to yourself, and what we see is just you explaining those ideas, okay? We will not
Okay.
have the impression that you will read, but in fact you can read when you are online. We don't see that you are reading. You just give us the impression that you are talking. Okay, instead...
Okay, should I...
Yes, go.
should I go back?
No, move on.
Okay. Here?
Move on.
Okay.
Some places where there were texts. Okay, so for the casino, for
I
example.
like that. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, instead of saying undoubtedly one of the most iconic buildings in the city of Hamad, the casino was inaugurated in the early 90s, you can just type or write inaugurated in the early 90s. And you say this, you say your sentence, what we see is inaugurated in the early 90s. Okay? This is the only sentence or expression that we see in your presentation. But when you present, you say the casino is undoubtedly one of the most iconic buildings in the city of Hamad, and it was inaugurated in the early 90s. Okay? And you make the same for the other idea. It was a hotel, then a casino, then a restaurant. Here you can say, you can write, for example, hotel, arrow يعني flash. فهمتوني؟ So hotel, قدامها flash, casino, then arrow again, restaurant. And you say, for example, it was a hotel, then a casino, then a restaurant, alternating between several changes of owners and opening and closing phases until the definitive one. تقول لهنا, here you say definitively closed in 2010. Okay, since then it is closed and occasionally open for exhibitions. لهنا again another idea, you say occasionally open for exhibitions or artistic events, right? So this is how it is supposed to be. Then how many ideas you have here? The inauguration idea, the changing in
The hotel.
yes, the changing of status of the casino, and its closure.
Several changes.
Its closure, and at the end you say occasionally open for exhibitions or artistic events. So 4 lines or 5 lines are enough, and you read this paragraph without giving us the impression that you are reading. So for next time,
Sorry, but I think we must read some details. Like
you will read them, of
there's
course.
some details that we must read it.
Yes, Molka, you will read, but don't write them in the presentation. There should be some ideas. The ideas should be summarized just in a few lines, as I told you. اللي هما نحطوهم احنا رؤوس أقلام ولا مطات. مطة. وانتي then after this عندك الباراجراف اللي مكتوب لهنا. هذاك في عوض باش توريهولي انتي لنا in the presentation. Instead of showing it in the presentation, you keep it to yourself and you read it. And what we see is not this paragraph. We will just see the bullets. And we don't know that you are reading. We only think that you are explaining the bullets to us.
Oh.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I hope next time you will make it better. This remark is for everybody, to all the groups. Okay? Any other remarks?
I think all the groups work in the same, with the same way.
Yes. This is because of you are not used. Hey, this is exactly what I told you at the beginning of the year. So it's not just reading. Yes, of course. So I didn't want to mingle with your work. Just wanted to see how you did it and then give you the feedback. Next time, when there is a presentation, it shouldn't be that way. I suppose you learned the lesson today.
Surely.
Okay, good. So one thing, this is one remark. Is there another remark? Because I have other remarks. No remarks? So normally, so I appreciate one thing is that you included the name of your partners, who performed what, and what was the role of each one of you. This was a good point to mention. There is another thing that you missed also is normally when we start a presentation, first we start with the title of our presentation, which most of you did. Then you give us a plan, okay? A clear plan of the different parts of your presentation. Not orally, it should be also written. Who did that from the beginning? Nobody. I didn't see.
Madam, the plan, like, what are we going to talk about?
You know the structure of the work you did. For example, you started with, what did you start with? The history of sports, and so this is the general information about Hammam Lens. General information including what? History, sports, and definition. And by the way, we don't say definition about Hammam Lens. It's not a word, or it's a place. You can say, for example, if you location or general information, or but it's not a definition, okay?
Okay.
So the thing you will learn in your next presentation is what? To make
bullets. And
that was the
to make
first
a plan.
one. Plan. Yes, make a plan.
Yes.
Okay, and at the end, you should include where did you get the information from, and I saw this just in Siwar's presentation and her group.
Yes, miss. عنا فيديو أما جينا باش نقولوا لهم أنا عملناه من الابليكاسيون إنشات أما حبينا يعني نعملوا فيديو آخر فهمت دونك
I'm talking about the presentation يا ملكة.
أي مدام البرزنتيشن فيها فيديوهات.
But where did you get the information from?
Yes, Madame, we forgot. I didn't think it would be really necessary.
It is necessary, of course. Otherwise, it is plagiarism. Are they?
I got some things. It wasn't all from the internet. You know, some things I picked up like I just saw it on the internet, and then I just made it myself. I tried.
Okay, still. So you were inspired from the internet. You mentioned.
Yes,
Some
I changed some things.
Information are collected from the internet. If you have resources, you consulted some resources, it's okay. But we have to be, especially when you are making a presentation, this is the methodology that you should follow. Okay, for your next presentation, it's not about being good or perfect. We just want to make it at the state of the art. Okay, how it should be. This is how it should be. It should include the title, the plan, your the content of the presentation. At the end, your references. Okay, let's say your team members if you didn't mention them at the beginning. Okay?
We mentioned them at the end.
Yes, okay. So if you either choose at the end or the beginning. Sorry.
all the groups did يعني عملوا نفس الحكاية دونك حبينا نحنا كان نحطوا network.
No problem, whether at the end or at the beginning, no problem. The most important thing is that you mention your partners or your the people you worked with, because in your next step you will have another presentation with international groups, okay? And I want you to learn the basics. Okay, the things that you will, avoid in your future presentations. Now we will grow up. We will move on to another level. Okay, we will upgrade. Now we are playing with an international team. Okay, So these were my remarks. If you have other remarks, just one more. Siwar, which tool did you use to make your presentation? Is it a PowerPoint or because I'm wondering? Did you make it on PowerPoint or just a PDF or document you are reading from? Durra, Siwar, who's the group? Aya and Siwar. Sirin also. Sirin left the group. Yes. Did you understand my question, Siwar? For example, the group of Nuha made it on Canva. Made their presentation on Canva using the tool, the web tool Canva. Google Docs?
We use Google Docs.
Okay. Google Docs is fine just to work your draft, to make your draft. But to present, there are presentation tools like Canva or like PowerPoint or like Google Slide. So for your next presentation, you will be using a presentation tool, okay? The tool is not appropriate for a presentation. This is why the text was so, lines are so close to each other and you have trouble reading. And even for us, we had trouble to follow. Okay? There were a few mistakes, grammar and spelling and pronunciation mistakes, and this is for everyone, for all the groups. Okay? So next time we learn that we should make a test before performing. Okay, girls?
Okay. Yes.
So we don't wait till the last minute. We do perform before. So for example, your deadline is for tomorrow. So you should finish all the work 2 days before the deadline. Because, as I said, now we are going to work in international teams. And international teams, you will be only using English. So no room for messing with the pronunciation. We should be ready. You should be ready, okay? So performing just before the day of the presentation. 2 days. You leave the 2 days to get ready to improving your oral presentation, so that when you come to present, you feel confident and fluent. Making sure you are not making pronunciation mistakes, making sure also there are no mistakes, no other mistakes in the presentation, because when you leave the presentation till the last minute, of course you are not going to see if there are things that are wrong. By